Hey, True Believers Englentine here, and it's time for We've Got Issues. So we're changing up a little bit where we're going to be talking about certain topics instead of doing the comic book reviews. And I do already see that somebody's a little teed off at my thumbnail. LK saying, I resent Warren Ellis being on the list because today we're talking about comic book artists and writers who used to be good, but not anymore. Now, here's the rule. Here's the one rule I'm going to state. It cannot be because of Twitter. Can't be because of drama. Can't be. It has to be because of what's on the page. That's all I'm saying. Oddly enough, I was reading a Donny Cates comic today. That's actually where it came from. I think I read my last issue of the Donny Cates run of Thor. You know, it was like this guy is just heralded all over, and I got to admit, you know, he did okay on a few things, but these days I just find it kind of tiresome.
Yeah,
sort of been there, done that.
My review of issue 8, it was a review and trying to build off of Straczynski where they fought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I was very disappointed. So I figured, you know, there has to be other artists and writers out there who are like this. People who you used to look at and go, oh my gosh, they did such great work. And once again, not because of Twitter. Can't be because, well, he said this on Twitter, therefore I don't like him. Grr. No, it's got to be something like, you guys know my number one. I have said so many times, my number one fall from grace. So, Breen, I see the wheels turning. Do you have anybody you could throw into this particular mix?
Well, I was just going to start with, we were mentioning Donny Cates before, and I think a lot of the reason why he is so heralded is because I think in 2020 the bar is set so low that writers that would have been average 20 years ago really look good today because, yeah, their peer group isn't nearly as strong as it was. You know, if you go back to, hell, even 12 years ago at Marvel, a lot of guys that are still writing that we could talk about, like, you know, Jonathan Hickman, for example, or Greg Pak, or Brian Michael Bendis, were all doing arguably the best work of their careers. None of them are even a facsimile of those writers today. And you can say the same about some of the artists as well, but that might have something to do with getting what you pay for. And I'm sure some of the artists that are working in 2020 were making a higher page rate from Marvel in 2008.
So, yeah, you don't think that Donny Cates has risen. You think the water's kind of...
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that. I mean, to be fair, I've only read 2 books that Donny Cates has ever written, Thor 1 and 2. That was enough for me. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, it's not that he wasn't writing well. It's just I missed issue 3, and then by the time issue 4 came out, I realized, you know, I didn't really feel like yeah. And then when I realized what he did with issue 5, I said, oh, I should have bought that because it's already worth a bunch of money. But then that's probably why I didn't.
Yeah, that might,
because I suck at that.
Yeah, if you guys have something to contribute, if you have somebody who are like, you know what, I loved them back in the day, but now just not so much. Like I said, I've got my one that I always rant about, but you brought up Greg Pak, who brought us great books like The Planet and War of the Hulk. What's out today that you think he stumbled on?
I just want to touch back on Cates a little bit. You know.
Oh, okay, we'll go that, and then we'll do Pak.
Cates, as far as Thor goes, I think I was more excited the fact that Thor he basically had 2 eyes and he had his actual arm back and the hammer.
Yeah. You weren't a fan of the Jason Aaron.
I was like, this is like an Aquaman ripoff. And to be fair, I guess there was a time back in the time where, and it was the 70s or 80s when Thor had an eye patch and he was King Thor.
Okay.
This isn't the first time, but I never liked that version. As far as Thor, he is kind of weak compared to what he's doing with Venom. I've been enjoying Venom a whole lot more. And I know I'll get people who disagree because they like, well, Venom's not a hero. He's a villain. The good thing about that, you can read what you want to read. You can read the back issues where he is a villain, and I can read the stuff where he's a hero. That's the thing, you have to read the stuff now. You may not like it, but you know, there is other stuff you can read out there. And I guarantee no one's read all the back issues and stuff. You know, even Breen with his collection he had, I'm sure there's a few books he's never read, or maybe or doesn't remember them.
There's a DuckTales or two that I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
To your point, Vank, I have heard so much glowing praise about Thanos. Thanos wins, or Cates' Thanos series.
Yeah.
Venom, Silver Surfer, Black. But I've heard them mostly from people who haven't been reading for nearly as long as I have. I'd be curious if, the few of us that are still around from the 70s that read straight through, do they feel that way about him? And
I liked Thanos that much. I thought that was a really good series.
Okay.
Yeah, I will back that up.
Okay, well, it's like, kind of like I'll say about Planet Hulk and World War Hulk and Greg Pak.
Yeah.
But is there a second one that is there a second Cates?
No, that's why I was asking you, because to me, Greg Pak was that, and then I lost interest.
Did you check out Venom at all?
I read Donny Cates' Venom. It was okay. I wasn't thrilled by it, and in all honesty, after Thanos, everything kind of went down. It's like Tom King.
Miracle Man.
Tom King burst onto the scene, and everybody really dug onto Tom King, man. I mean, he did Vision, he did the Omega Men, he did half of the Mr. Miracle. People loved, but all of a sudden, I think what happened was Tom King's got one story to tell. He's like Mags Visaggio. He only tells one story, and we heard it. What do you have next? And then when he got on Batman, he was there for so long telling that same one story over and over. Sure, this one starred the Riddler, or that one starred Bane, or whatever, but ultimately it was the same story told with different characters for damn near 60 issues, 7. It was just way too freaking long for him to be on the title. And I think what it is that people saw the man behind the curtain as far as Tom King was concerned, and that's not a knock on his person. I don't know him personally, but the thing is what he had to show us as far as writing. We've seen it. And you know what? We were done by paying for his therapy, as everybody said.
I also want to point out that there are some writers out there, and depending on who they're working for, what they're doing, yes, they're writing crap books, but then you see them writing their own stuff. It's good. Rucka's like that. Rucka, when he writes DC, the Lois Lane, that was crap. When he's writing Lazarus, it's actually pretty damn good.
Well, that might be because it's his title. We
don't know what.
So he might have more passion towards that. I point out Castellucci, where she wrote for it must have been an editorial decision, because Femme Furies was horrible. She gets on Batgirl, and oh my gosh. Now
Tom Taylor too.
LK is backing up Rucka, saying he wrote great Gotham books. I love Queen and Country. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was from the what was that? That it also had that pirate title. There was a series. What was that company that was out in the 2000s? Queen and what was that? Or maybe I'm thinking of something different. But now, that Lois Lane. I made it through one issue almost of Lois Lane.
I read through 12.
I'm done.
I just shoveled through. I think what really hurt the most thing is the fact that what's Bendis actually ruined Superman, so that continued. It trailed off into her the little story with her to deal with that crap. It might have been, maybe it might have been better if Superman and Clark Kent, if they actually weren't still two people, as far as being he had a secret identity. It might have been better. But then again, like I said, I don't know what's going on in DC. Maybe DC has certain people that write certain stories. I hire him for that. And Rucka's like, yeah, I'll show it. It's no lie that he hates Trump. I'll give you that much. But when he does Lazarus, even though it's still current stuff, he's been doing stuff. He's not putting bad Orange Man bad into it.
Is Lazarus still being published, or is he
came out
doing that?
He came out in 2019, and the last book just came out earlier this year before COVID. Yeah. So he's on book 5 of the continuing of the series, and it's actually been the same. It hasn't got worse. It hasn't,
Now, are these trades of things he's already written, or is currently writing?
He's currently writing stuff. But he, like Ash said on his stuff, when Greg Rucka, when he's writing this off, it's like he's writing for a Netflix series. He's not, just like The Walking Dead made for.
Yeah, we talked about that on one of our videos. It's going to be here too. I'm bringing all the topic stuff over here and leaving all the comic stuff over on Old Man Comics.
But,
we brought up the fact that when we did the writing for the trades, we brought up the fact that it seems like writers now are writing for movies and TV rather than even the trades. Now, somebody I do want to bring up, LK brought up somebody we're going to talk about in a moment, but Joe Rogers brought up Mark Waid, and he's absolutely right. Kingdom Come, that excellent run of the Flash.
Yep.
I liked his Legion. Not everybody did, but I liked his Legion of Superheroes. And now he's writing Humanity First. He did a run that was so horrible on Captain America that it actually made me think for a while that Ta-Nehisi Coates was doing an okay job.
That'll work out.
I think it was very much like what you said. Well, you thought the same thing for a few issues there.
Issue 6.
I actually do. I actually do think the first couple of issues of Ta-Nehisi Coates was not bad, but then he Ta-Nehisi coated all over everything, and now it's unrecognizable as Captain America. But Mark Waid, Mark Waid. Now you can find some decent Mark Waid work if you go to Archie. I'm not gonna take that away from the man, but overall, I'm wondering if it's a passion thing as well. Because Kingdom Come is still marked. Nowadays, people are, and this was not true for back when it was released, but nowadays people would put Kingdom Come over Marvels as being a better book. It just had more to say. Marvels was kind of this big nostalgia kick, and it worked. It was a great book, don't get me wrong. But Kingdom Come really said something about superheroes, said something about the comic book industry at the time, definitely. So I think overall it's the deeper book, it's the deeper story, so it resonates and it can it carries on a little bit longer.
I was just going to say about Tucky Coates, he dropped the ball. I understand that Captain America's been roots in Secret Empire, but the only way he could fix it is said that the evil one was the one that Barf threw up. And to say that he's been in a coma for this past.
Coates had no interest in telling any story other than
what he's doing. Yes. Yes.
Back to Mark Waid for a second. Those two series that he wrote with for Archie, the Archie 1941 and the Archie 1955. He had a co-writer, Brian Augustin, who has been with him off and on for decades.
And you know what? Come to think of it, we heard that that's what happened on Kingdom Come as well.
Now people that travel in our circles have been mixed on his work at Marvel, like with the Doctor Strange. I don't know that his Champions work has any fans, so we're going to find out when he starts at DC what he has left in the tank. And,
Waid was good on it, yeah.
If he's edited, I think he'll be okay, because I do think he's got a long track record, and at least a couple of recent examples of him being a part of books that were well done. But if he gets the same kind of deal that Bendis got, it's not going to end well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Even though, of course, LK saying Waid's Legion run was the beginning of his slide, going back, you see where he really started putting his politics in. I will pick Mark Waid's Legion of Superheroes over Bendis's any day.
Was Waid
any day of the week, twice on Sunday?
Was it Waid or Slott just recently took over Fantastic Four like a year ago?
Slott, I actually enjoy his stuff. He's actually gone the other direction. I was reading Spider-Man going, what's this man thinking? He should have been gone a long time from now. And then he did Fantastic Four. I'm like, there he is. Because I know Slott can do good work. I'm a big fan of his run on She-Hulk. He's done good stuff before. I
was shocked.
Oni Press. Yeah, it was something different that I was thinking of, LK.
But how does Slott stack up with past Fantastic Four runs?
Well, that's the good thing about that for me is that I really haven't read the past
Well,
one. So
it depends on what you're talking about. I mean, if you're gonna, there's two that stand above all else.
Right.
The Stan and Jack and the John Byrne. To me, those are always going to be tip top. So basically, for the first 300 issues almost, it's Fantastic Four is damn near flawless. Once you get a little bit after that, you could question it, and maybe Dan Slott can fit somewhere in there. But number 1 and number 2 slots for Fantastic Four, in my opinion, will always be, Jack Kirby and John Byrne, and that'll flip flop depending on my mood that day.
And I found that when you actually find your definitive run, when you love, no matter who takes it over later on, sometimes you just can't love it because, like you said, you had that perfect run. And it's just like, wow, this is just crap. Look what they did to the character. Like, look at Spider-Man. Look what they did to that. And then did the one more day after that. I was like, dude, even when they had what was it? Was it McClane? Who was the guy's name? Todd
McClane.
Yeah, when he was writing it or doing it wrong.
Yeah, it was Todd McClane. Argue that. If anybody says it's anything different, you make sure you fight them with every inch of your being. But tag me in every tweet.
Well, Anglety said Todd McClane, so I'm just gonna go with that. No, like I said, even like some of the 80s issues when they had the Venom stuff, some of the stuff is like, okay, this is great. The Clone Saga, it's like, it's still better than what they did with Superior Spider-Man. People are like, oh, we love Superior Spider-Man. I'm like, well, maybe you never read the stuff beforehand, and maybe that's why they like that stuff. Like Quirks, I don't know what he's read, but he loves a lot of stuff that you guys hate.
Now, here's a question Nathan Stein is bringing up, and this is actually a difficult one. I've got an answer for it. I want to hear from you, Eric. I want you to answer this one. Would you rather have Mark Waid or Tom King? Let's go Flash.
Mark Waid.
Okay. How about Batman?
Mark Waid.
All righty. Why would you pick him over Tom King?
What you said it 10 minutes ago. Tom King has one story that he continues to tell, and it's morose, it's depressing, and it never ends. Mark Waid, at least, again, has a track record going back 20, 30 years where he's written a lot of characters. He's written a lot of, he can vary things. And again, like I said, and we're going to find out if, Mark Waid has editors, I think he'll be okay at DC. I don't know if Tom King has the bend to steel or if he has editors, but either way, he's become unreadable.
Tom King has, my thing was going to be Mark Waid as well, because even though he messed up on Captain America, the track records are stronger for Mark Waid finding the voice of the character rather than putting his own voice in. That being said, I think I would prefer to have Tom King's therapy session than Mark Waid's Trump, what are we calling it? Deranged Trump syndrome. So there you go, gang. That's our opinion on the whole situation. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to help out the channel, please click like and share. Subscribe if you haven't done it already, making sure that the notifications is set up for on and all. If you'd like to see the entire live stream, go on over to members only. Or you could help out the channel by going over to Patreon or Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.